Greetings lords and ladies, and welcome to the Westeros vibe, where people believe that dragons actually came from the moon. Before we start, I would like to remind you that links to every article or video covered this week can be found in the video description below. Also in the description you will find timestamps, so that you can choose which stories you will want to view. We start off the week with a follow-up from a story from the previous one. Watch an all-new trailer for the Game of Thrones Season 5 box set. Nothing else to say really, watch and enjoy, and if you are interested, buy the season. Moving on with a blast from the past. Jon standing on Jon Arryn's deleted pilot scene. In an interview, which you can find if you follow the link below, the actor playing Jon Arryn describes a cut scene which shows his death, and which also involves Lena Headey. It's a short and informative interview, so I suggest you go and watch it. Next up we have Game of Thrones wins the PGA award. More specifically, it won the Norman Felton Award for Outstanding Producer of Episodic Television Drama, beating shows like Better Call Saul, Homeland, House of Cards, and Mad Men. In the acceptance speech, among other things, D.B. Weiss said that HBO told us upfront Knights and Dragons were not the business they were in. Well, you showed them, Dan and Dave, you showed them. In other spoilery news, Kit Harington gives rare interview and hilariously pretends he won't be back next season. In an interview about his turn in the London production of Dr. Faustus, Doc turned inevitably to the show, and inevitably he didn't have any cut and dry answers for the burning question that is on many people's mind. Among the things he said were, "I've just hit the ground and gone undercover. I've tried to do absolutely no press for anything. I was hoping that there would be an outcry of why and oh god, no, rather than thank god. That was the right reaction as far as I was concerned. People didn't want me to die, but he's dead. So there you go, everyone has to get used to it." Of course, followers of the show know of the few occasions that hint to Jon's coming back into the plot and participating in important events, so I'll not repeat them here. Suffice to say, semantics yet again help Kit to not give a straight answer. Moving on to Game of Thrones Blackfish star Clive Russell admits fans had no idea who he was. Of course we know he will reprise the role this season, but we have mentioned that before. What is new is the statement that the fans weren't aware of his previous body of work, as his participation in everything up until then didn't have that much visibility. Suffice to say, he was quite visible and will remain so until the writers will write him off. I think it's high time for another list. The 8 best Game of Thrones storylines not in the TV show. Careful for potential spoilers now. The items are: 1. Jaime Lannister and the Siege of Riverrun. Will probably happen this season under slightly different circumstances than in the books. 2. Jane Paul is married to Ramsay Bolton. She was replaced with Sansa instead of Jane pretending to be Arya. 3. Loras Tyrell is sent to capture Dragonstone. There are not many chances that Sir Loras will have this glorious conquest added to his name in the show. 4. Power struggle at the Iron Islands. The confrontation for the Seastone chair in the books was complex and engaging, with rivalries and speeches. In the show, it's bound to be lessened somehow. 5. Arianne Martell's quest for revenge. The Dornish plotline suffered immensely due to the cutting of Arianna and her plot. It's too late for the show to tackle it, unfortunately. 6. Tyrion meets young Griff. Sadly, this was replaced with the Varys sent part of the Jorah road trips. 7. Cold Hands. Even though he will probably never appear in the show, at least we had that Murder of Crows shot as an homage to him. 8. Lady Stoneheart. There is still some hope that she will make an appearance. However, as the years go by, the likelihood lessens. Next up we have From Winter is Coming, Celeb Roundup. The mountain explains why he's huge Nikolai Coster-Waldau honored by GQ, and more. Apart from the two mentioned in the title, the article covers Ian McElhinney, the actor who embodies Sir Barristan. If you're interested in these people, then take a gander. Link provided below. In other news, Ellie Kendrick, Mira Reed, and other Game of Thrones stars offer fans a chance to visit the set. In an HBO promo, various actors make a plea for donations, and as an incentive they threw in a chance to visit the Season 7 set later this year. The video features a number of cast members, among which we find Liam Cunningham, Davos, Ellie Kendrick, Mira, Jessica Henwick, Nymeria Sand, and Finn Jones, Loras. Watch and enjoy speculating. Moving on with Introducing a Feast with Dragons, a new combined reading order. This article features a project initiated by Brendan Beefish and Zach Louie, in which they created the reading order for the two books and will tackle it on the Game of Owns podcast. It's a long article, however it is an interesting one. Click on the link to find out exactly how. Next up, Game of Thrones backdrop wrecked by storm. Several trees which made up the Dark Hedges in Co-Antrim, Northern Ireland, were felled by Mother Nature, which is a shame as the place is one of the most visited places in Northern Ireland, and those trees stood since the 18th century. Hopefully the rest of them will endure. In other news, which may be spoilery for some, Sophie Turner teases Sansa's best season yet. Here are some choice quotes from what Miss Turner has said. I mean, this season is a really big one for Sansa. It's probably her best season yet. It's her really coming into her own. She, this season, really commands the respect that she deserves, and she grabs hold of it and she runs with it, and it's really good. It was amazing because the past 5 seasons, it feels like it's been building up and up to that. You can only suffer so much before she finally gets the respect that she deserves. I mean, this season there's like so many shocks, it's massive. It's the biggest season yet. And just like in terms of character development, so many people's storylines I'm so excited for. I'm so excited to see Alfie's one this season. It's going to be good. So a lot of hype and tantalizing mentions of Sansa and Theon's storylines. If I had to guess, I would say Queen in the North, and redemption and revenge by killing Ramsay. Those seem like 2 good plotlines. We've had a list, now it's time for a ranking. Ranking the 9th episodes of each season. Number 5, The Watchers on the Wall. The season 4 entry had a massive battle at the wall, and it was awesome. However, there are more impressive entries into this list, so unfortunately it is the last one. 4, The Dance of Dragons. The epic fighting pit scene where Drogon sets aflame numerous Sons of the Harpy, even with some questionable effects, was a great scene. Number 3, Blackwater. The episode-long Battle for King's Landing was mind-blowingly good at the time, because we hadn't experienced battles like this in the show yet. Number 2, Baelor. It inches ahead of Blackwater because this was the moment in which the viewer realized that Game of Thrones is not your titular show through the death of what viewers perceive to be the main protagonist, Ned Stark. And number 1, we have of course the Reigns of Castamere. This had to be first because it was the most shocking scene of the books, and it was transferred well into the show, even though it lost its oppressive atmosphere and sense of impending doom that the Caitlyn chapters gave it. The last story of the week is Game of Thrones nominated for several Shorty awards. The criteria for the nominations were, and I quote, social media innovation, quality and originality of content on all social media platforms, and impact and engagement with fans. The nominations are Best TV Show, Best Actress Maisie Williams, and Best Animated GIF of the Year, The Night's King, Come At Me Bro. A weird last one there, however, there you have it. Moving on to the lands of YouTube, we have a few videos to mention this week. History of Westeros have released the second part of their discussion on House Dayne, covering their history from the Dawn days to recent times. Alt-Shift-X, has released a video discussing Dragonglass and its crucial role within the series. Vassals of Kingsgrave have released a video covering everything we know about the Bone Mountains, which divide the west and east of Essos. Red Team Review has released a video discussing the 3 teasers from last week, and the collaboration video in which history buffs talk about the real-world parallels between the show/book. Preston Jacobs has released another installment of his 1000 World Book Club, this time covering the Plague Star, and has also released his Water and Missing episode for Season 3, Episode 1, Valar Dohaeris. Emergency Awesome has released a video about the charity video we discussed a few minutes ago. That is the news for the week ending on January 31st. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please like, share, comment and subscribe, and stay tuned. Goodbye everyone, till next week.